Hey, welcome to another Sober Toolbox video. I am your host, Aaron, the Sober Life Coach. I'm a coach, author, and I've been 7 years sober. For the past 7 years, I've been able to live alcohol free. And I did it without rehab or AA. I did it with identity shift, change, identity level change, and I was able to do that without the traditional path. And I created my own path, and I want to kind of share the things that work for me, and hopefully they work for you as well on your alcohol free journey. This is the identity shift series. And if you're listening to this on audio, this will be there for you in your email inbox if you're part of the Dare to Be Sober audio series, or maybe you're even in the Dare to Be Sober live coaching challenge, then you will be receiving this as well as a special gift. And I wanted to talk to you today about how to become the kind of person who doesn't need to drink anymore. And why does identity matter? Well, you don't stay sober by fighting cravings forever. You stay sober becoming someone new. And I know that for a fact because I was able to do that. And it wasn't just because I removed alcohol from my life. I wasn't just quitting drinking. I wasn't just releasing alcohol from my life and hoping that something would fill that void. No, I had to change an identity level. I had to put better solutions in place. I had to find out why I was drinking. I had to put all these things in place to have that identity and to jump into the identity. And most people go backwards, right? Most people live in this order. They want to have it, and then they do it, and then they think they become it. That's not how motivation. That's not how this works. It's be, do, have, not have, be, do. Most people say, when I have more motivation, I'll do the work so I can be sober. That's why they stay stuck. They wait to feel ready, right? They're waiting for motivation. Motivation fades. Motivation is kind of a BS, in my opinion. You're not going to always want to be motivated. Most of the times when I wake up, and I don't even want to get out of bed half the days, but I get out of bed. I have habits in place so that I can move forward. And maybe you're in that dark spot where I was when I quit drinking, where you didn't really even think this would work. But if you just keep putting your feet on the ground, putting better habits in place, and starting to see that you need to change an identity level, and you started becoming that sober version of you, and you started keeping promises to yourself, and you slowly integrate these things into your life, then you'll be able to change for good. At least that's what happened for me. So today we're going to flip the script, right? We're going to go be, do, have. We're not going to have, be, do, have, do, be, right? Or we're going to be, do, have, right? And that's how high performers think, because you want to be the person first. You do what the version of you would do and have the results that version creates, and be the person who's already free. You want to step into that person. And you got to understand that there's two versions of you. There's the drunk version of you, and there's the sober version of you, right? And if you can kind of separate those two and realize that you're looking at this drunk version of you with, rose colored glasses. I know for me, the drunk version of me was not showing up. The drunk version of me was in shame, guilt cycles all the time, anxious, obsessing over alcohol, thinking about it all the time. But I really thought that I was the sober, the confident drunk person, right? I was the life of the party. I was all these things that I thought the drunk version of me was, but that wasn't true. And if I looked at it objectively and I started to uncover the lies that alcohol was telling me, I realized that that's not the person that I actually was when I was drinking. And I realized that I could be that sober version of me. And that sober version of me is confident, not all the time. Of course, everybody has their moments, but I'm working on it, right? I'm working on becoming more confident. I'm working on becoming a better father. I'm working on, connecting with my wife. I'm working on all these things in my life. I'm starting to become that sober version, and it's taken 7 years to get to where I am, and I still have lots of work to do. But eventually, you'll be able to step into that sober 2.0 version of you and get to where you want to go. And that's by flipping that script and becoming the person that does these things at an identity level, and then those habits and things will start to change over time, because you have no room for them anymore. Because you see alcohol not as a solution anymore. That's eliminating the need to drink, opposed to quitting drinking, get rid of it. So ask yourself, who are you becoming, right? Identity isn't fixed, it's trained, right? It's asking good questions, right? And you can ask yourself, what does a sober strong version of me believe, do, and say no to, right? What does that sober strong version of you believe? Do they believe that alcohol is actually helping them? Probably not. Do they believe that it's going to relieve their anxiety and their stress? No, probably not. They probably see it as a poison, right? And what do they say no to? Do they say no to the social events where there's just going to be completely a bunch of people drinking all over the place? Yes. I mean, you're going to have to go out there and socialize sober and things like that, but you're going to have to say no to some of these things as well. You're going to have to, have the power to say no, no thanks, and you're going to have the power to get these sober wins. And once you start doing that, you start building that at the identity level. That's where the real change comes, and then you can act accordingly, even if it feels awkward at first. Right? It's going to feel awkward to say no. It's going to feel awkward to set those boundaries. It's going to feel awkward to, put new things in place, but Everything feels awkward at first, but then you start becoming that person, and eventually you plant the seeds and your garden will grow, right? And you'll be able to get to where you want to go. So it's about tiny shifts with big identity wins, right? Identity forms through the promises you keep to yourself. That's a tiny shift, right? You start keeping promises to yourself. The words you use about who you are. If you use words like I'm just quitting, or I'm probably going to go back to it. I don't really know how this sobriety thing's going to work. Those kind of words keep you in that gap thinking. You need to look at the gain. Like, what are you gaining, right? And the words you use about who you are, you can say, I'm becoming this person. I'm becoming the kind of person who doesn't break promises anymore. I'm becoming the kind of person who shows up. I'm becoming the kind of person who tries and fails and gets up and starts to go again, right? Those are the kind of things, words you want to say about yourself. So it's really important about how we talk about ourselves too, right? And the way you respond to stress, boredom, and success, right? Is stress. The way you respond to stress is alcohol the still solution in your life. Well, let's start working on that. Let's put better solutions in place for stress. Is alcohol the relief from your boredom? Well, let's give you a meaningful observing project, something where you're going to have a passion for it, that you can move forward and get rid of that boredom, right? And success. Do you have great rewards in your life? I know for me, it's really hard to reward myself. Sometimes I work and work and work. I accomplish things and then I just carry on. But I really need to work on rewarding myself. And alcohol was that reward for a lot of my life. But it's no longer the reward anymore. You have to put better rewards in place so that you don't have alcohol always constantly being the reward for a hard day's work or whatever, right? So every moment is a vote for your future self. Every time you make have a sober win. Every time you step forward. Every time you listen to these audios, it's a vote for the sober version of you, and you're no longer going to tolerate that drunk version of you over time, right? So you can go from drinker to non-drinker, right? You don't quit drinking, you become a non-drinker. That shift isn't just behavioral, it's a personal, powerful, and permanent when done right, right? You're not just quitting, you're becoming a non-drinker. That's exactly how I did it. I didn't just quit drinking. I became someone who doesn't drink. And then your no's are powerful, right? Because if you just say no, and you know in back of your mind that you still see people as drinking as normal, and you're missing out and all these things, then you're gonna feel guilty about it. But now I just say no. If someone offers me a drink, I say no, I don't drink. That is a powerful little shift. That's a powerful change, right? Because it becomes permanent. You become that kind of person who doesn't need that anymore. So your new magic can be, I'm becoming the kind of person who prioritizes clarity over comfort, lives on purpose, not on autopilot, chooses peace over porn. Your identity isn't who you are, it's who you're practicing to be, right? You're just practicing this, and you're stepping into a new version of yourself. And a lot of the times that's going to feel awkward and weird and strange, but sometimes you just need to step into that awkwardness just to kind of get where you want to go. So your day reflection today is, where are you still waiting where are you still waiting to have something before taking action, right? Where are you still waiting to have before you take actions? Well, what that means is, are you still waiting to become that person? Are you still waiting are you just thinking that by getting alcohol out of your life, you're going to be able to have the things that you want to do? Are you becoming that person, right? Are you becoming someone who keeps the promises? That's the be do have. You don't want to have the have do be, you want to have the be do have. And ask yourself, who do you need to be today to stay alcohol free? What kind of person do you need to be? Do you need to be the person who says no to the drink? Do you need to be the kind of person who just says, gets through a craving, put something better in place, maybe removes alcohol from your life? What kind of person you need to become today to stay alcohol free? And then reframe this. I'm not fixing the old me. I'm building the real me, right? I'm building something new. I'm getting excited about sobriety. I'm becoming a new person. You can also reframe alcohol, right? If you think alcohol relieves your stress, think about it. Does it actually relieve your stress and today? Yeah, maybe in the moment, but it's not going to relieve your stress anymore. It relieves your anxiety. Well, it's not going to actually relieve your anxiety long term. It's going to make you more anxious. So those kind of reframes are really important too. And then execute. One. I'm becoming the kind of person statement. Say it every morning this week. Post it somewhere. I'm becoming the kind of person that keeps my promises to myself. I'm the kind of person who can connect without alcohol. I'm becoming the kind of person. What kind of person are you becoming? You write that down on a post note. Put it somewhere, and don't just say it. Start living it. Right? It's not just an affirmation. Affirmations are great. You can say as many words as you want to yourself, but if you don't start living those words and doing the actions, then you're not going to get to where you want to go. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening to this audio, and if you're watching a video, thank you so much for watching this video version as well. Thank you for letting me be your coach. Life is better on the sober side. I will see you guys in another video talking about identity level shifts and changes in your alcohol free lifestyle. Have yourselves a meaningful day, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next audio or video.